feedback regarding the last video. We really appreciate having back of the head protectors, which we'll hopefully be able to use here in the next few weeks at our practices. Today we are going over Longsword 101, which is one of the basic lessons in German longsword that we teach at our club. We are going to be learning 3 guards and 3 master cuts, but we will go over the guards first today. Keep in mind that all of the guards I am doing with my longsword first. Again, with also the cuts I will be doing with my longsword first and then transition over to the broom. And all of the cuts and guards today will be covered from my right hand side. However, in our online notes, there are descriptions on how to execute them with the left hand. So let's get started. As I hinted at in the previous video, there is one of the easiest guards to execute. It is very low efficiency. It is called the guard of Vom Tag. How to execute Vom Tag is you take your dominant hand, your right hand, you place it near the cross guard, your left hand goes near the pommel, somewhere where it fits comfortably. What you're going to do is take this, put back on your shoulder. Your legs should be pretty easy, middle weighted, and pretty comfortable with your left leg, your non-dominant leg leading. With Vom Tag, what you want to do is keep your right hand close to your ear, your left hand nice and tucked up against your chest. It shouldn't look like this, so your left hand way out, it should be nice and tight. And then also with your right arm, your elbow shouldn't be kind of chicken winging out here, it should be nice and tucked. If you do both, it provides a huge target, so your forearm then becomes a target, and your elbow then becomes a target over here too. If you don't have it nice and tucked up here and you have it real low, it really becomes very easy to take those forearm shots on an opponent. This can also be done on the left from your right, and you just switch the legs. Again, keeping it nice and tucked and ready. The other guard we're going to cover today is called Ox, or in English it's called Ox. To execute this, what you're going to do is keep your legs out in front of you. Bring your sword out in front, and what you're going to do, so you can see, is you're going to apply your thumb to your shield. So I've rotated that here. Then what you're going to do is take your left hand and push it under your right here, like this. And then what you're going to do is bring that out to the side and over. So it looks kind of like so. And then you're going to kind of relax just a little bit. This is called Ox. This is also called crossed ox or right ox. To get to the other side, all you have to do is just bring it around, take a step back with your left, and then bring it up and over. Now, a couple notes. Why do we have the thumb on the shield here? It's a biomechanics lesson, which you will hopefully be able to learn in person. If you have your thumb on your shield and your arms really nice and high, it's very easy for you to keep your tip in line with your opponent. And also too, this protects your head. So if you take a cut coming straight down, all the force is going to be deflected out your back and hips through your legs. You'll be able, again, as I said, to keep your tip on line. If you don't have that and you have your hands on your handle here and you take that same cut, your tip is going to drop, all the strain is going to get put on your wrist, and it's going to hurt a lot more, and it'll also put strain on your shoulders and upper back, so it's not very good. Again, as I said, you kind of keep the guard nice and out and above your head. If you don't have that and you have a really kind of contracted guard here with like wimpy T-Rex arms, you're going to get smacked in the face. But also your point is out and your thumb is on that shield. So one other guard, it is also really easy. It is called Flug or Plow. To execute that, it's very similar. You are going to start in the guard of right Vom Tag, and then what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of drop and put this pommel on your right hand side. So it's kind of near your pocket or your hip. You don't want to have it, so I'll switch here. You don't want to have it in the middle here. That's a good way to have your pommel get crushed into your gut. This is right flap. To switch, all you do is switch what foot is forward, and switch to the side. Again, keeping that pommel near your pocket and then keeping your point at your opponent. So at the camera here for me. Very easy. What is important about both of those guards is they present a threat while also preventing cuts from coming in, or being able to take cuts while still presenting a threat. This is essential to the German longsword system, is that every guard or every attack is both defensive and offensive in nature. If you are, say for instance, executing fluke or plow, and you don't have your tip on your opponent, that is not a very good defense, because it's very easy for your opponent to just charge in. You may be able to block a cut coming kind of in your middle area, but you're not going to be able to really kind of, with your sword, say, hey, stay away from me. So that is one key note about the German longsword system. All right, so I've got my broom, and we're going to run through the guards here. Again, referring back to all the videos, the white tape is going to represent my cross guard here. My left hand is going to sit somewhere comfortable on the broom. Now we're in the guard of Umtag, right Umtag, left Umtag. This may be tricky with the broom, but you can put your thumb on the pole of the broom to simulate a thumb grip. Open ox or left ox. Stepping back, crossed ox. And then you can just drop. And this is right plow and left plow. Now, something that I glossed over just a minute ago was crossed ox or open ox. This is kind of a signifier that we may use when we teach. It refers to the hand position. So with open ox, my arms are nice and open. There's a big kind of window here where nothing's getting tangled. This is also really easy to do. Crossed ox, or is when your hands are crossed right here. That's just all it really refers to. You may hear us use right-sided ox or crossed ox, or left-sided ox or open ox as signifiers when we're helping instruct. Open and cross will also come into play with a Meisterhau here in a moment. Okay, so now that I have my sword again, we are going to cover the master cuts or the Meisterhau. Why are they called Meisterhau? That is a good question. So these are secret cuts, so to call them, that master swordsmen would teach their students. They're not intuitive when you first pick up a sword, but they are fundamental to the German longsword system. Keep in mind that when you throw these, they are both offensive and defensive, as I mentioned. Every cut should be thrown both offensively, but also still keeping you safe. Or if you're throwing it as a quote-unquote parry, that there still is a threat behind it for your opponent so they don't just rush in and crush you. So we're going to start off with one of the most intuitive cuts. It is called the Zornhau or the Wrath cut. How you're going to start that is you're going to start in right Vomtag, kind of nice and comfortable. Again, in Vomtag. What you're going to do is cut straight out, kind of leading with the hands and the point first. So kind of like you're casting a line out like you're fishing. And as you cut, you should be stepping at the same time. What you're going to do is you're going to step 45 degrees to the right and outside. Keep in mind, today is a big focus on the handwork or how you throw the cuts. I will do a later video illustrating some of the steps. So, as I said, you're going to start in right Vomtag, throw the cut, and as you cut, you step. As you kind of realize from the last video, I've now ended up in plow. Again. Here we go. That point should stay on your opponent if you are throwing it correctly. One more time, and then I'll show from the left. Good. Now from the left, I'm going to switch what feet I have forward, go into left Vomtag, and then step out 45 degrees to my left. Perfect. All right. The next cut is one of the more difficult cuts to conceptualize in the German longsword system. It is called the Zwerchau or Zwerchau. It is called in English the thwart cut. So this one is difficult. You're going to start back in right thumb top, and what you're going to do is you are going to apply your thumb grip. To make this really, really easy, all you're going to do is you're going to bring this sword right out in front of you so the flat is in front of your face. Bring it up over your head, and then what you're going to do is as you bring this kind of around your head, you just kind of swing it. We are going to cut to our left side, but we are going to step very, very shallowly forward. So I'm going to step back a little bit, and as I do so, I'm just going to let this sword kind of maneuver around my head. Now, this is the guard of ox that you end up in. Stepping back, so we're back in kind of this big up over your head thing. We're going to just, whoop. Perfect, one more time. Whoop. That's just the easiest basic way to get the motion down. As you get more comfortable with this object moving above your head, you can actually speed it up. So you don't bring your sword out in front of you, bring it up and over. You can actually start just bringing it up over your head and around. And then once you get more comfortable with that, from vom Tag, just straight out in a dynamic motion. That is Zwerchau to the left. From the right, you're going to switch your feet, and you start also in vom Tag. We are going to be stepping that way to the left. And again, just so then this way you don't hit yourself in the head, we're going to start sword out with that thumb grip, bring it back up over your head, and swing it to the right and step forward. And again, you end up in cross stalks. So swing it back to this kind of over your head position, up over, up over. Perfect. At speed, it looks like this. One more time. Good. All right. One last tricky cut. It is called the Krumpfhau, or the crooked cut. Again, we're going to start in vom Tag. What you're going to do is you're going to bring it back out in front of you like we did with the Zwerchau. Now, this doesn't seem very intuitive, but you're going to step about 45 degrees to your right as you cut to the left. This is also going to end up sideways. So what it looks like from here, boop. One more time. And one more time. Now at speed, it looks like that. Again, as you get more comfortable, feel free to start these cuts from vom Tag, or applying the thumb grip as you start or not, and then you just roll into that thumb grip. From the left side, switch what feet is forward, and what you're going to do is bring this out and out like that as you step. So whoop, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now at speed, one more time, and one more time, because why not? All right, so these are three of the more difficult Meisterhau to conceptualize, mostly because there is that thumb grip. You end up in some pretty wonky positions as you cut them. We'll go over targeting and footwork a little bit more in depth later, but that about wraps it up for Longsword 101. Let me just review those cuts and guards one more time with that broom for you. Okay, so now that I have my broom sword, let's review all the guards that we learned today. We are in vom Tag, left vom Tag, left or open ox, right or cross stalks, left plow. Go back to Von Tug. We learned the wrath cut from both sides. We also learned the Zwergkow. From the side. And we also learned the Krumpau. From the side. Perfect. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to message us, and look forward to Longsword 102, where we will wrap up with the remaining Meisterhau and the remaining guard. Thank you for watching.